Hey everybody. Just getting some music so that we can get ready to talk about tonight's topic. You all may be familiar with this song. It's called Things Your Man Won't Do. And it's things your woman won't do too. So tonight we're going to have a really, really great topic. We're going to talk about how to keep your woman or your man, your husband, your wife, happy at home before someone else does. And so we're going to wait till a few more people get in and we are going to start. If you don't mind, do me a favor. I don't have a lot of rules on my Facebook Live. What I do ask you to do is to make sure that you push the share button, because you know everybody wants to know about love. Everybody wants to be loved. So let me know that you're there. Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up if you agree with what I'm saying. And let me know if you have some questions about tonight's topic. If you got any questions about any other topic, feel free to inbox me, and or you can go to my official Tia Wilson McCrary page and leave me a message there on Facebook. All right? We're going to start in just a couple of seconds. We're going to get a few more people on, and we are going to get started. Baby, I wanna do. All right. I think we've got a great start. What do y'all think? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to Tuesdays with Tia. We are about to tackle a topic that I have been asked to tackle. I have been counseling for so many years. And I understand that there is a need for people to really get out of the box and talk about this particular issue. If you have taken the time to read the title, then you already know what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about how to keep your man or your woman happy before someone else does, because there is a real threat to real relationships. And if you've been watching me for the past 3 weeks, you already know that I have started on kind of like a relationship subject matter. And I really want to make sure that those of you who are watching are in a relationship that is fulfilling, that is happy, that is purposeful, that is going somewhere, and that brings you so much fulfillment. But there's always a downside to those things as well. Again, do me a favor, share this with somebody. Let them know that you are watching Tuesdays with Tia. One of the challenges that I find that breaks my heart is when you see people that you know they are meant to be together, and they sit in front of me as a counselor, as someone that they trust, as a mentor, as a coach, and they say, my relationship is really falling apart, and I really need your help. And so the challenge becomes, what do I tell them? Specifically in instances where people are saying, I don't have anybody else to talk to, and you want to give the right wisdom, and they come with situations much like this. What do you do when there's infidelity? What do you do if, your mate has wandered off and they've gotten into other relationships or other extracurricular activities outside of your commitment? And so I want to talk about that tonight, and I hope that you're going to take some notes, because I'm going to always give you something that is noteworthy. Well, hey, let's get started. Can we do that? All right. Well, the first thing I want to talk to you about is, if you are going to, I don't want to say affair proof your relationship, because there is no such thing as affair proofing your relationship. I know that there's a lot of articles out there that says that you can, but the bottom line is people are going to do what people want to do, and you cannot stop them from doing it. But what you can do is put measures in place so that if you are in this committed relationship, they are happy, the relationship is healthy, and you all are two whole people having the type of love experience that God really wants you to have. And one of the things that I have found that fights against that is that we have people who have not chosen the right person in the first place. Now, if you want to know how to choose Mr. or Mrs. or Mr. Right, I'm going to encourage you to go to my previous videos. We won't cover that. We're just going to take off from where I left off last week. But I want you to consider your choices when you are choosing or have chosen someone that you're dating, or you are in a relationship where you're perhaps not married. However, you are in a relationship where it is a committed relationship. And understand, I am not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to give you information that hopefully can give you a solid foundation to have the relationship that God wants you to have. All right. But sometimes we don't choose the right persons. Sometimes we choose people that are fans. You know, if you are a person that is in the limelight, if you're a person that is of stature, if you have this great position at your job, or you do something that people often don't do, or perhaps that is not your case and you just have somebody that just cannot resist you, because I understand you're irresistible. Sometimes the people that you meet, they can be fans. And that is not really the kind of person you want to be in a relationship with. And you have to be honest. Am I in a relationship with a fan? Am I in a relationship with somebody who wants me for what I can give them, the position I can give them, the hookups that I can give them, the houses, the cars, the money, the sex, whatever it is? And so you want to make sure you're not with that kind of person, because that person, the next time somebody else comes that has something bigger, something better, something richer, more, whatever it is that they came after you for, they will leave you and go to someone else. And there's nothing you can do about that. You know, again, I'm telling you how to keep your person. But the thing of it is, you got to make sure you got a person that really wants to be kept. Okay. And then the other person that comes in, when you're talking about choosing the right person, you got to have somebody who is not just a fantasy. You know, I talk to a lot of men who come to me and they say, you know, can you help me find a wife? Or, you know, I'm dating someone and I really need a woman's point of view on these things. And I often tell them, at the end of the day, I want to know, have you married a fantasy? Are you in love with the fantasy? Because quite often we get in situations that we think I could never have her and I can never have him. And we find out that we're in that relationship, but you're really so enamored by who they are and what they bring to you, and the fact that you don't believe that you actually internally deserve that person. So you go over and above to have them or to be in this long-term relationship, but they really are not in it for the long haul or for the right reasons, because they know, you know, they're enamored by me. They're my fan. You know, I'm their fantasy. You know, I talk to young women all the time and they're like, you know, I want a man with big old muscles and a big checkbook and this, that, and the other. And that's nice and that's cute. But I'm sorry, you don't marry fantasies. You marry real things. This is not the cartoons. We're not children and we're not playing on a playground. You want to be in a relationship with somebody that's for real, that's whole in their thinking and not sitting up there living in a fantasy land. Okay. And then the other person is, this is the most significant and important thing. You want somebody that, again, is not a fan, that's not a fantasy, but if you're going to be able to keep a relationship, the first thing it needs to be, the foundation needs to be, it needs to be based on friendship. Now, a lot of people don't like to say that because we want to have that thing that makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and you know, you can't hang up the phone. You got to talk to the person. You got to be around them. No, a grown relationship, I'm talking about grown relationships. You need to be in a relationship that is based on friendship. Something that's going to keep you, because all the time you're not going to always feel like I'm in love. You're not going to always feel like I want to be with that person. Sometimes you're not going to even want to be around that person. But that foundation of friendship gives you something to build on and to springboard off of on those days, like I call days of contradiction. And so the first thing, again, when you want to keep your man or your woman at home before somebody else comes and steal what you think you got, or what you do have, you want to make sure you married the right person, because marrying the wrong person will put you in a position where that other person can come and take what it is you think you got, what you've settled for, or what you have been mesmerized by, and you find out that you're going to end up by yourself. And I don't want to see that happen. So here's the next thing. It's so important that you realize is that you have to know and be willing to fulfill that person's needs. You know, there's nothing wrong, and I love it when I counsel couples, especially when they've been together for a while and they're just coming in for a tune-up, which I always recommend that any relationship, if you have a counselor or relationship coach, that you get somebody that you can come in and tweak and get some ideas how to spice up your relationship, maybe learn how to communicate a little bit better. Maybe things have happened and some adjustments needs to be made. You need to have those tune-up counseling sessions. Even those of you all who are not married yet, if you are in a committed relationship, you need to come and get some outside resources and assistance to help make sure that that relationship stays strong and healthy. But it's also very, very important that you're willing to meet that person's needs. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard people come and tell me, you know what, my mate is not fulfilling my needs. You know, they started off, they wooed me, they got me, and all of a sudden everything changed. They're not the person that they used to be. You know, they don't treat me like they used to. They don't talk to me like they used to. They don't caress me or love me like they used to. They don't make love to me if you're married like you used to, you know, like they used to. It's a whole myriad of things, and it causes people's attention to go stray, because as people, if I'm not trying to be super deep, and I'm not trying to speak in tongues, and I ain't trying to do all that right now. I'm going to shoot it to you straight. The reality of it is, when you don't take care of home, you put yourself and your mate in a position where they're going to naturally want to have that feeling of companionship, of desire, of wanting to feel needed, wanting to be appreciated. And if you are in a relationship, a monogamous relationship, it's very important that you give that person what they need. Now, I understand you're not always going to be able to meet every need that they may have, but if you're going to be in a committed relationship, it means just that. You got to be willing to be committed, even sometimes when the commitment doesn't feel like it's committed to you. And let me say that again, because that is my mantra when it comes to relationships. Be in a relationship. When you're going to be in a relationship, realize that you're going to have to be committed to the commitment, even when the commitment is not always committed to you. And sometimes you don't always feel committed. I get it. You don't. I know me. There's been times where I didn't feel like being committed to being a parent, being a pastor, and being a wife, or anything else. But I stay committed because I understand what I have invested in it. And so I've got to be willing to say, you know what, Tier, if he needs you to be something to him, be what he needs, as long as it's within reason. I mean, a lot of times you have people who are watching things on television, who are seeing things on the internet, or having conversations, and you come to your mate, you come to your spouse, and you're saying, you know what, I would love to do this, and they reject it. You know, I just want to maybe it might be something as simple as, can we go on a picnic? No. Can you take a day off and we can just sit and talk? No. Oh, will you go to this football game with me, babe? No, I don't want to do that. That's not something I want to do. Those kind of things, those simplistic, just minimalistic things that your mate may be asking you to do, consider doing them, because understand, if you don't do it, somebody else will. And a person is only going to take no for so long, because there's nothing worse than the feeling of being rejected, especially by someone that you love or that you're in a committed relationship with. And so I'm going to always encourage you to make sure that you're be willing to fulfill their needs. Now, again, these needs I'm talking again about needs that make sense. And those of you who are joining me, again, go on and share this broadcast with somebody so that they can get in and they can enjoy and learn at the same time that you're learning. And so that means I have to have realistic expectations. I have to have realistic wants and realistic needs. I mean, what are those realistic needs? Some of the things I just mentioned now. Now, if you're saying, you know what, I want you to dress up in a sexy teddy, and you know that person is very inhibited, they may not be so open to that. But if you're saying, you know what, how about we take things in stages? I'm talking about married folks. Yes, you married people that are watching right now. You need to learn how to spice that relationship up. And sometimes it's as simple as changing what you have on. You know, I know one time, long time ago, the person I was dating, they told me, they said, you know what, I like it when your hair is this specific color. This is back in the day, long time ago. And they loved when I had this burgundy hair. And it was something that he really loved. And it was a simplistic change. And so I just went and got my hair done. It wasn't a long-term commitment. But that day when I spent time with him, I made sure I had burgundy hair. That was just his thing. And when I asked him for something, you know, he obliged me as well. So again, know and be willing to fulfill their needs. You got to know what their needs are, though. So that means you got to be willing to have an adult conversation and ask them, what is it that you need? Because I'm going to tell you this, the person that you were when you probably got in that relationship, if you've been in a relationship longer than 3 years, that's not the person that you are now. And to those of you all who've been married for a long time, you're not the person that person dated. That's not who you are. You've evolved, you've grown, you've been in situations, you've had challenges that have changed your character, maybe changed the way you look at things, changed your ability to view things the way you used to, or maybe you simply just matured. And so you got to, from time to time, again, like I said, have a tune-up. Even if you don't talk to somebody, you go and you speak to your mate. Go talk to that person and say, baby, what is it that you need from me? Ask them, how can I please you? Ask your wife, what is it I can do? There's nothing more wonderful than having a man tell a woman, sweetheart, it is my chief joy to give you the desires of your heart. You're talking about a woman that will melt. Don't y'all be using my line. Now y'all can use it. It is my chief joy to make you happy. So just tell me what you want and be honest. Don't hold back. Don't have that person thinking, I got to guess. And that's something, ladies, we are notorious for. But don't you know, you should know me by now. No, sweetie, they don't know you. You are complicated, specimen of a human being. They need to know what you are thinking. Men do not read your mind. You got to use your lips. They don't need to see it in an email that you done sent to somebody else, or you venting on Facebook or Instagram, or you sending little quotes and little notes and trying to be coy, and not so coy, but trying to be indirectly messy. That's not the way you do it. Pick up the phone and say, baby, you know what? I'm making a dinner for you. I've sent the kids away. I just want you to come. I would love to talk. And when you want to talk to him, ladies, let me give you a pointer. When your man come home from work, or when he's been busy doing whatever it is he's doing, you need to make sure that when he comes home to a safe environment that gives him solace, that gives him peace, where he can unwind and he can decompress for a minute and have something really nice waiting for him. If it's nothing but a bath, if it's, you leading him and grabbing his hand and sitting down with him on the couch or on the love seat or on a chair, or going and getting a ride and picking him up and saying, listen, we'll come back and pick your car up later. I just wanted you to come somewhere with me and have something nice in the car, have some nice mood music. Mood music is very, very important. And say, baby, I want to talk to you. And don't say, you know what, our relationship has been jacked up. No, that's not how you lead. Let me tell you how a wise woman leads. A wise woman says something like this: sweetheart, I realize that perhaps everything is not the way we want to in our relationship, but I really want to know what I can do to make it make you happier, and bring you so much satisfaction. Or you can say something like, you know what? Hey, what can I do to make you happy? Something very simple. Tell me what I can do to meet your needs today. And even if you can't handle the week, the month, or the years to come, handle today. Master today. And I promise you, can I tell you something, ladies? It's very, very important that your man feels like he is appreciated. He needs to know that when he comes home, that there's going to be somebody that's going to listen to him. Because I'm telling you, their office wives, the club wives, the thoughts over there, those over there, they will listen to him. A man needs to be listened to. He needs to not be nagged. As soon as he comes to the door. And if you some men on here, I need y'all to give me some hearts, because I know that's the truth. Okay? And so it's very, very important that you make sure that you know what your mate wants, that you're meeting their needs. How do you meet their needs? Simply by asking them. Again, it is not something that's osmosis. It's something that you're going to have to open up your mouth and ask them. And check this out. You got to be ready for their answer, because they may tell you something that you guaranteed yourself, I ain't never doing that no more. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, ladies, what you did to get him. Men, you know the things that you did to get her. You knew that she, every now and then, she wanted to go to date. You know, she liked it when she came home from work and maybe there was a scavenger hunt and there was a little letter, a little post-it. You know that she likes to get, I know for me, I love to get a text in the morning that says, good morning, baby. I love those things. I love to know that I'm first on your mind, but you don't tell him that he even matters. And the only time you want him to do something is, the only time you call him is when you want to complain or you want him to do something for you or the kids, or vice versa. You got to make sure that you know what they want. And not only what they want, you got to know what they need. Because I promise you, the other man, the other woman, they're going to take the time and they're going to do this. What you say? Say it a little louder. Let's think about this story. Let's take it in the Bible. Think about the story about Bathsheba. Not Bathsheba. Let's look at Samson and Delilah. Okay? She did one thing that caused that man to lose everything. She listened. And you can either cause your man to lose everything or cause him to believe and put everything in you and trust you with everything. And so I want you to be the one that he goes to, that he runs to. Men, the same thing. You need to know what your woman wants. It makes no sense when I counsel men and they don't know what size shoe they woman wear. They don't know what perfume she likes. They don't know what, what her favorite movie is. They don't know what her favorite food. I remember one of my date nights, and I remember sitting at a date, and there was a fork with food that came towards my mouth. And I just slowly ate it, and I looked at him, and I made sure he knew I was looking at him. Some things they just want your attention with no words spoken. You got to know. And see, the Bible says this: a wise woman builds her house, and a silly woman tears it down with her hands. The wise woman, when she builds her house, she has to know what bricks and mortar to use at the right time. All right. And so let's go to the next one. You're going to need to be clear about your laws of expectation. Yes, meeting the needs of your mate, listening as well as talking, true communication. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you want to make sure that you're clear about the laws of relational expectation. One of the detriments that I often see in many relationships is they don't want to be clear about what you want. I said this last week, and I'll say it again. In your 20s, you know what you want. In your 30s, you know what you need. But in your 40s, you know what you require. Now, you might be one of those anomalies that know what they require when they're 20, and you're not moving on those things. But I'm not talking about I need them to be 6 feet, or I need her to be, 5'4", or 36, 24, 36. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you know the type of love you need, the type of respect you need, the type of honor you need. Because what one person might say is honorable may not be honorable. I'm going to tell you this. I saw something this weekend. I went out with some associates. We had a business event, and there was a man that was there with his wife. And every time somebody would look at this man, he would grab his wife's butt to say, "This is mine." Well, to me, that is extremely disrespectful and a sure sign of you being insecure. Now, that is my perception. To her, she enjoyed it, and it validated who she was and who their relationship is. And this is what I'm saying. You got to be clear about those relational laws of expectation, because if I need that to feel validated, I'm going to need you to have open shows of affection. For others, they don't need that. And so know what those things are. And again, open up your mouth and talk to them. What do I require? Tear. Let me tell you what tear requires. What do you require? Do you even know what you require? And sometimes you need to sit down and you need to write it down. What is it that I require? What is it that I need? What is it that I want? What is it that I absolutely have to have? I don't know what those things are. Sit down and think, because I promise you, what you needed 2 years ago, you don't need all of that. You might need something totally different. I remember when I was in my 20s, I liked getting, flowers. Now that I'm in my 40s, honey, I like getting diamonds. I like my bills paid off. I like getting attention that is valuable, because and what I mean by that attention, I mean, as my man, I want you to hear me. I want you to listen to me, and I want you to support me. I want you to have my back. Support is important to me. It's very important. And I'm sure if that's something you need, then you need to tell your mate that's exactly what you need. All right, so here's another one I want to say. You also want to make sure that you cover that person, because every person has a breaking point. And when you leave something unattended for so long, you'll find out that they might decide that that was the last straw, and they might walk out. And so before you get to that point, you got to learn how to cover your mate, learn how to cover your husband, learn how to cover your wife. I know, as a woman, as a preacher, as a businesswoman, and I'm just going to shoot it to you straight, bishop or no bishop, pastor or no pastor, businesswoman or no businesswoman, I'm a woman first. And they do come after me. They come for me. Men come after me, and women. And I don't do neither one of them. I got a husband. Clearly. Okay? But I want to say this. I have to be honest about what those triggers are. Back in the day, that was something that, like I said, I adore that adoration. Young women, we like y'all, I ain't as young as I used to be. Y'all single women, y'all like attention. And even married women, they like attention. And so I understood that if I did not get that together as I got older, what was going to end up happening is it was going to be a trigger. And if I did not handle it well, I was going to end up cheating. To the degree, when I first got married 150 years ago, I said this, and there was parts of me that actually regretted saying it. But now that I'm in a really, really honest place in my life, I remember a long time ago saying, I'm so afraid that I might cheat, because if I don't get what I need at home, I might have the propensity to do that. Well, I thank God for grace and mercy and maturity and the love of God and the wisdom of God and the wisdom of other people that have ministered to me over these now 23 years that have helped me understand all of that and why and what to do and when not to do it. But I will say this. I had to get to a point where I was honest, and I had to tell my husband, listen, I'm afraid that this might happen. So because of that, can you promise me that you will be there for me? Can you promise me that if I'm feeling a moment of vulnerability that I can come to you? And you know what? We made a decision that day. If you having a day of contradiction, come on, we got to talk real talk, grown people to grown people. In relationships, you might have those moments of temptation. The Bible says there's no test, temptation, or trial such as common to man, that God has not given you a way of escape. So me and my husband, we came with a way of escape. I'm trying to give y'all some good music. My computer is playing whatever it wants to play, and I don't understand why it's doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get that together. But one of the things that I recognize and realize is that I had to come and say, hey, I might be in a situation. And let me tell you something else. Grown people, stop acting like when you don't know when those triggers are pushed. Stop acting like you don't know when that button is pushed. You know when that woman walks past you and she got that fragrance, and you know when that man walks past you and he got on that Armani or that Hugo Boss or that bespoke suit and he looking good, and you know things ain't quite the way you want him to be at home, and you start looking. Come on, you need at that moment, wait, you need to call on Jesus. You need to speak in tongues. You need to get an accountability partner. You need to go. You need to pray. You need to be like Joseph, and you need to run. Come on, run, Forrest, run. You got to do whatever you got to do to put yourself out of that. But if you don't, if that's not something that you have set up, I'm sorry, but it's something you need to consider setting up in your relationship, because you want it to work. You want to be able to come and say, listen, I'm having a vulnerable moment. You already know our relationship might be on ice right now, or it may not be the way we want it to be, and we're still working some things out. So until then, I need you to have my back. I need you. I'm gonna share a testimony. My husband doesn't mind me sharing a testimony. A long time ago, when I mean a long time ago, when we were first married, there was a time of when I had gotten pregnant, and I was not tending to my household the way I should have. I had a lot going on. I was taking care of my paraplegic mother, who was a hospice patient at that time. My mother-in-law had just passed away. My father had just passed away. We had 3 children under the age of 7. Here I am pregnant, and I'm trying to do all the things I needed to do. And I said, babe, if you ever have a day of contradiction where you feel invulnerable because I may be not unaware, not taking care of you like I should, I need you to pick up the phone. And I never forget picking up the phone. I never forget him picking up the phone. He said, babe, I was in the Barnes & Noble bookstore. Now, you know, that's from bookstores. That was a long time ago. I tell you how long ago it was. A Barnes & Noble bookstore. And he said, and there's this beautiful woman, and I'm feeling very vulnerable. And I said, babe, hold on. I'm going to call you right back. Just get out of the store and go back to your office. And things were shaky. You know, I was not being attentive. I got to be honest. I was not attending to my man. And, pregnant and all, and the ladies, I'm gonna tell you, just because you're pregnant don't mean you gotta open up the door for somebody else. You don't want him to take a break on your relationship. Handle your business. And so I called one of his male friends. I said, if you said this to me, what is it that you think that you would like your wife to respond to? He gave me some pointers. Again, there's safety in a multitude of counsel. And I told him, I called my husband back. I said, babe, I've made some reservations at this absolutely beautiful hotel. I made sure that I had a 5-star, 5-course dinner ready for him. I made sure that I had all of his clothes packed. I wanted him to look good, because see, I know how my man dresses. If y'all seen him, y'all know he's a fashion plate, and he wasn't slacking back then either. I got him something wonderful to wear. I picked me out something sexy to wear. Yes, with my saved, sanctified, tongue-talking self, because again, I'm a woman first. I'm his wife second. All right. And so I had to make sure that what I did to get him, because y'all know, if y'all been listening to me at any time, I got him. I was in the mall. I was looking real cute with some high heel shoes on and some Daisy Duke shorts on and a halter top. Real cute on my only day off. And I met him at the mall. That's how I met my husband. I'll share the story. We'll share our story another time, another day. But one of the things that I did was I had to go back to being that sexy woman, even with my belly. Yes. And I came and I said, babe, leave your car there. I'm coming to pick you up. I picked him up. I said, be ready. He got in the car. He said, oh, my. And that's all I needed. And he said, where we going? I said, don't worry about where we going. I'm going to take you someplace, because I don't ever want you to feel that you've got to go someplace else to get your needs met. And baby, I promise you, that was a wonderful evening, and he will never forget it. And some 20 years later, he's still talking about that evening. But it gave me a cue that I have to maintain. I'm responsible for maintaining the stability of my relationship. You are responsible, men as well, of maintaining the stability of your relationship. And don't think because you buy us diamonds and furs, don't think because you put us in a nice house, don't think because we're a church girl that we will not want somebody else because you are not handling your business. And I'm not talking about paying the bills, because you got to understand, women are emotional. We need to have our emotional needs met. And most of us as women, we can provide for ourselves monetarily. Yes, more is nice, but what we want, you can keep your money. Give me your heart. Yeah, we want to know that you genuinely love us. And so you got to be familiar and be honest about your relational triggers. And you got to make sure that you cover that person. How do I cover that person? You got to cover that person with the attention that they need. Everybody ain't the kind of person that wants you all up on them all the time. And again, next time, make sure that you sharing this while we talking about this. And if you like what I'm saying, show me some love. But you got to make sure I'm right on time. Amanda, thank you for that. And if you got something that you want to say, just go on and say it. Hey, Breland, how you doing? Hey, Jesse. Hey, Shamika. Hey, all of y'all. I want to tell you this. You got to learn how to cover your man. Cover your woman. Make sure you cover her with attention. Cover her in prayer. Cover him in prayer. It is so sad to see women that are in relationships, and they say they're in relationships, but these relationships that they're in, they're not bothering to pray for their mates. Yeah. They want to be so spiritual on all this other stuff. God, give us a house. God, help us with our bills. God, do this and do that. But you forget to say, God, help me be the mate that I need to be to my husband or wife. Help me to be the person that he or she needs. Help me learn how to fulfill their needs, their unspoken needs. Help me to know what to say, when to say it. Help me to be able to say, you know what? Hey, I am falling short. Help me to bury my pride. Help me to, God, help me. Just help me. Sometimes you don't even know what to say. Just say, God, help me. And listen, don't say, God, help me, and don't wait for an answer. You got to write it down, because I'm going to tell you something. Your relationship is worth investing in. It's worth you going to God and saying, God, you gave me this man. You gave me this woman. Now, God, I need you to help me to motivate myself. I need you to help me to motivate him or her. I need you to teach me how to love them. I need you to know how to teach me to teach them how to love me back, and teach me how to show them that I still care. Teach me how to be romantic. Teach me how to what's the best? Teach me how to make, I was trying to say it in a nice way. Teach me how to make love to my spouse in a way that they receive it and they feel adored, or they feel like they matter to me. I'm trying to cut some of this music off because it's becoming a distraction to me. Let me cut some of these off. Okay. All right. I'm sorry for that interruption. All of my music was playing at the same time, and I can't have that. It's too much confusion. Okay. And so you want to also cover that person with affirmations. I cannot tell you how often people come to me for counseling, and good, Amanda, you and yours just prayed. That is fantastic. And now don't be afraid to pray with your mate, and your mate might not feel like, well, I don't feel secure in praying. That's all right. That's okay. You pray together. There's no perfect prayer. Just pray from your heart and ask the Lord to give you wisdom, insight, understanding, ideas, all those things to help you have the kind of relationship that you really, really in your heart want to have. Because there's no need to praying after they gone. There's no need to praying after they done packed their bags and their bags are at the door. That don't make any sense. That makes absolutely no sense to me. And so I want to make sure that, okay, I'm going to turn this off. I want to make sure, what is this, Lily? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to cut some of these off because, again, it is getting on my nerves. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on just a second. I want to cut one of these videos off because there's too many of them playing at the same time. I wish y'all could see this. I'm about to get some software where y'all can see the videos playing while I'm talking to you. But I want to make sure that you also know how to affirm your mate. That means you need to speak into his spirit, especially men. They need affirmation, because let me tell you something. Society has broke them down so bad that when they don't hear from their spouses, they don't hear from their women that affirm them, they'll begin to believe that you're part of the problem and not part of the solution that he needs. Let me tell you something. A man needs a place where he can come and he can lay his head. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean just only literally. He needs a place where he can come and he can feel safe and he can feel vulnerable. And you can tell him, listen, baby, I'm open to hear whatever your woes, your issues are, your moments of discouragement, your moments of feeling inferior, your moments of feeling inadequate. I am here for you, and I want to let you know you are the best thing that a person could ever ask. You are the best employee. They don't understand what they have in you. They don't understand, that you are somebody that needs to be treasured or somebody that needs to be valued. You got to tell your man sometimes, baby, you know what? I just want you to know I love you. I was thinking about you. I want you to know that you make me such a happy woman. You got to know the things to tell your man to affirm him. If he's building a business or he's got a new idea or something like that, you got to be able to let him know, baby, I believe in you. Yes, you got to learn how to talk to your man. Ladies, you got to hear me, because I promise you again, Delilah is waiting for you, for your man. She waiting, and all she's got is an open ear. She wants to tell him, sweetheart, you look so good in that suit. Let me tell you something. There is not going to be a woman, when my husband leaves out this house, there's not going to be a woman that's going to tell my husband first how fine he looks before I do. I'm going to always be the first. Ladies, make it your business to always be the first. Be the first to tell him I love you. Be the first to wake him up in the middle of the night and be the, listen, we grown. We having grown folk talk. Be the first to come and tell him something sweet in his ear. Be the first to let him hear you pray for him out loud, not just in your head or in your heart. Be the one that he hears say, Father, I thank you for my husband. I thank you that he is a man of peace. I thank you he's a man of patience. I thank you that everything that his hands touch is blessed. I thank you that people see him at a city gate and they want to be just like him. You got to speak into your man. You got to speak into existence what you want to see in him. You got to affirm him. Stop being that woman that wants to have something to say that's always negative. You ain't gonna never be nothing. You ain't never been nothing. All you do is forget. You always, if it starts with you always, chances are you need to shut that conversation right there, unless you're saying something positive. That's an indication, because I'm gonna tell you something. The Bible talks about this, and again, for those of you who are not Christians, I'm sorry if you get offended, but I'm a Christian all day long, and that is the thing that leads me and helps me understand how I need to be. So it is my compass, so I'm gonna always go back to that. But a man, the Bible talks about when a man has a nagging woman, he would rather be on the housetop. I don't want my man in my housetop. I want my man in my bed. I don't want my man on the housetop. I want my man by my side. I don't want my man on the rooftop. I want my man holding hands when I'm walking in the park. I don't want my man on the rooftop. I don't want him laying in somebody else's lap. So I'm going to make sure he hears me praying for him. And you might say, well, you sound like a woman who is insecure. Oh, baby, no, I'm not insecure, because I know how to keep a man. And I'm trying to teach you how to do the thing, same thing. Men, I'm going to speak to you too. I'm not leaving you out. And I'm going to talk to that thought life that might be watching, who might be the other woman. I'm going to talk to you in just a minute too. So just hold on. You just hold on. But men, it's important that you affirm her, that you adore her. She needs to know that just the sight of her coming by you. So what she doesn't look the way she used to. So what gravity has taken its course. So what she's got some extra stretch marks. So what she got some love handles. Okay, take her to the beach. Take her to the workout facility. Take her somewhere. Make her feel beautiful. And if you can't do that, send her to the Dominican Republic or to a plastic surgeon if she's willing to go and get that done. But you just make sure if your stuff ain't tight, that you go right there with her. Bloop. Because it's very, very important, men, that as you are adoring us and you like the way we look and you want us to look good for you, is make sure you got to make sure that you looking good for us. Clean them fingernails. Go get a pedicure. Go get a manicure. I talked about that last week on how to find Mr. and Mrs. Right, the things that you need to make sure you get yourself together. And it continues on once you're in the relationship, okay? Make sure you bathe with soap. Put on some good fragrances. You want to look good, ladies. But men, we need to know that when we pass by you, that there's something that still happens. Okay? We need to know that we still got it. We need to know that when we're cooking, that you can come up behind. That's one of the things that I love, that, you know, when I'm cooking, that he comes up behind me and he might whisper something in my ear, or he might nibble at my neck, or he might look at me across the room, or when he introduces me when I'm up preaching, or I've got to go and do something and he has the privilege of introducing me. He says all kinds of things and I'm like, I'm going to see you later. And then I keep my word. Okay? Because some of you ladies, y'all got to stop teasing these men and making promises to them that y'all can't keep. That ain't right. Because you're going to tease them one time too many and somebody else ain't going to tease them. They going to please them. I'm just trying to help you. Come on. Your auntie from down the way. She just trying to help you and trying to keep it real, real, real. And so you also want to cover that person with support. You know that they need you to just endorse them. They need to know that you have their back. They need to know that, hey, I'm there when nobody else is there. I'm here to pray for you. I'm here to write a check. I'm here to do the hard work. I'm here to help put if you got a woman and she got a basket company, she trying to put together a cosmetic line or something, you know, you be there. She got a salon, a shop, a store, whatever. You be there to help her sweep. You be there to help wash the windows. You know, one of the things that I tell people, even if she's not a business person, you want to do something to get your wife's attention, clean up the house. Pick up behind yourself. Bathe the kids. Get them in bed early. You cook dinner. You don't know how to cook? Order something. You should know by now what her favorite meal is. If you can't order it, go to the restaurant and pick it up and bring it back and set the table real nice. You don't know how to do that? YouTube it. Pinterest it. Nowadays, there's no excuse for you not to have an ingenuitive idea or know how to keep your wife or keep your husband or keep your man, keep your woman, okay? So you want to make sure that you support them. Listen to their problems. Be the solution. It's one thing that I think is so wonderful is when a man or a woman is a solutionist. Again, I talked about last week about being an alpha woman. I love to have solutions. I cannot stand when people come to me with problems and I got a problem. No, if I'm confiding in you, I'm expecting you to be the solution. If you're there to listen, then you're not there only to learn, but you're also there to lend an ear and to tell me what the wisdom is that I need. That's why it's important that we have your support. So even if it's something you're not interested in, and men, I understand, you know, a lot of men are not interested in makeup, and somebody might say, I want to have a makeup line. That's not interest to you, but it's interest to you when she goes to the bank and she pulls out those $50,000 and $60,000 checks. So be there. Ladies, the same way. Your man needs your support. I keep telling you, oh my God, let me say this. Even in church, I've been in situations where I've seen that thought come and sit on the first row, second row, or come in church late, or go around when they're giving the communion. Yeah, even the communion, or giving their offerings. You know, their money in church, and they got the shirt or they got the tight dresses on because everything now is spandex, and so people don't have filters of what they wear to church anymore. They come as they are, and I'm not knocking anybody, but I think there's this right thing to wear. There's right clothing to wear in right places. You don't go to your job and wear an after 5 dress. So you know we got to do better in that area. But I have seen women and men, hear me, and men say, you know what, and do, not only say, but and do, have the idea that they're going to come in and they're going to seduce the preacher or seduce the person that can get their attention. They want to be the center of attention. So they come in and they say and they do and they act inappropriate in a subtle way, sometimes not always so subtle. And they come in and they bring that kind of support. They stroke their ego. They let them know that they're wanted. You got to make sure that you do the same thing. Let me tell you something else that's important, especially men. Let me talk to you for a second. It's very, very important that you cover us with security. What does that mean? You make us feel as though that we are safe. We feel as though that we're not led to the wolves, that the wolves are not going to get us. If you're a woman, you know, if you're in business or a ministry or something like that, chances are you are going to be approached by many, many men. Many men are turned on by women who are about their business. And so you need to have your wife or your woman in a place where she says, you know what, everything I need is at home. Yeah. That you make her feel as though, you know what, sweetie, I appreciate what you do out there, but I want you to know how much I appreciate you when you're home with me. and make her feel as though when she goes out that she's okay. You know, I remember I went to my class reunion, which is fastly approaching next week. Hey, sugar. That's fastly approaching next week. And I remember last year there was a gentleman. I was holding my husband's hand and we were walking through the crowd, and this man decided he wanted to come to me and tell me, basically, you don't need him. You need me. I'm going to knock him off. And you know, if y'all know anything about my family, we're a little bit ghetto. I came from East Cleveland, Ohio, went to Shaw High School. Hey, Cardinals. And I told my husband, well, he's a man of God, but before he's a man of God, he's a protector. And he handled it like a man. Men, when you're out with your women, make sure you protect them. Make sure that they feel safe and secure. If you tell them you're going to take care of a bill, if you tell them that you're going to take care of something for them, take care of it. Because once we lose respect for you, once we no longer feel as though we can trust you, you put yourself in a position where you will be replaced. Maybe not at home, but in her heart and in her head. So let her know. Support her. Be there to be security for her. Be the stability. We as women are having we are so emotional sometimes. And there's nothing like having somebody that you can kind of throw things off on. You know, I call him my man. I went to the shelter earlier in the year and did a outreach with my young women of influence. And we had purses for a purpose, and I delivered purses with victory bags with things that the women that are in shelters that they would need if they need to make a quick exit. You know, just really nice things. When I left there, I was so broken. So I picked up the phone and I called my man, and I said, hey, this is what I encountered. And I was just crying, just bawling. And I told him, I need you. I need you. I need you to be there to listen. And he calmed my nerves. He gave me stability in a very unstable situation. I was a single mother. Even though I came from a little bit of money, there was nothing like knowing that my man would be there. I never asked my husband before I got married for anything. He'll tell you to this day, I never asked him for anything. And can I tell you something? I had my bills on my refrigerator. I was in college, I owned my own home. I was in college, had everything on the refrigerator, so I would pay my bills on time. And he came in, and he didn't tell me anything other than look on the refrigerator. And it was paid on all of them. He took care of it. He added security. He let me know, I'm going to take care of your financial needs. I'm going to make sure that there's a roof over your house, that there's the gas and the lights are on, that the water is on, that you don't have to worry about anything. Men, we shouldn't have to ask you for anything if you know what it is we need. I'm not talking about what we want. You should know if you've been in a relationship long enough. Study your man. Study your woman. Know what they want. Know what they need. Know exactly what it is. Because again, somebody else will take the time to learn what your mate needs. They're going to. And so you make sure that you know, and that not only that you know, but you accommodate what you know. And that's how you cover with stability. Cover with protection. Cover with positive words. Ladies, let me tell you this. Cover your man with respect. Y'all stop being these women that go out and disrespect these men. Stop saying anything and everything you want to say to them out in public. Stop trying to humiliate them. Stop talking to them like they're children. Stop talking to them like they're men. You want to break them down because they done hurt you. You don't need no man. You don't deserve one. Men, same way. I see and hear men calling their women all kinds of things. You know, she ain't nothing. I can't even repeat some of the things that I have said. They're repulsive. I don't care how mad you get. You get what you say. You will have whatsoever you say. So if you say she get on your nerves, she gonna keep getting on your nerves. If you gonna say she ain't nothing, she this and she that, and it's not something that's gonna affirm her, that's what you gonna get. And so maybe you're actually living with the byproduct of what you spoke. Speak something different and you'll get something different. I keep telling all the men that I encounter when I counsel them, hear me. We are receivers. What you give us a sperm, we are going to give you a baby. You give us a house, we're going to give you a home. You give us an ideal, we're going to give you a vision. We're going to help you with your vision, and we're going to help you build that business. You give us a request, we're going to try to meet it. But if you give us grief, we're going to give you grief back. And if we're broken and we're hurting, and I understand hurting people hurt people, but if you're hurting and you come back and you lash back at us, please understand, husbands, when you lash back at us, when you lash out at us, you're lashing at yourself, because we're the product of your intelligent choice. You chose to ask us, but we also chose to say yes, believing that you would take care of us emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, physically. We need you to step up. We need you. That way, there won't be any room for somebody to step on your step and push you off of your step. All right? And so here's the next thing I want to talk to you about. You've got to make sure that you keep your relationships current. Again, I said it earlier. The person that you were when you were in your 20s and when you first started dating, you are not that person anymore. So you want to make sure, give us hell and you will get double hell. That's right. You want to make sure that you recognize where you are and where you've changed, and go to your spouse and say, you know what? I did it. I used to like flowers, but now I like diamonds. I used to, like little simple things. Now I like little complicated things. I used to like a, hey boo, keep it moving, hand, fist pound. Now I want you to put your arms around my waist, and I want you to tell me sweet nothings that I can't repeat in public. So you got to know what you require. All right, I'm talking to you married people. Know what you require. And if there's an update, let that person know. Because again, it's not osmosis. The next thing, you want to compete, not with the other woman, not with the other man. It's so sad when I see people acting insecure and they know that there's a question of infidelity, or they know that there's a question that your spouse or your mate may be interested in someone else. You want to go and compete with the chick, or you want to go fight the dude. Bump that. Stay in your house. Hear me. Stay in your house. If you don't worry about what they doing, you got that person. You knew what you needed to do to get them. Now go get them back. Go get them back. Go ask them before it gets too late. That's all right, Amanda. Put it on replay form. Here, this is it's gonna be saved, and then I'm gonna put it on YouTube too. So I am Tier. Yeah, I am Tier. Yes, that's what my name is on YouTube. I am Tier. So you go on there, it'll be on there too, so you can share it. So, but check this out. You want to make sure that you are competing only with one person, and that's yourself. One thing that I've always said, I want to always outlove my man more than I did when I first got him. The competition is only with me. I want to get better than I was. I always want to be better. I want to be the best version of me that I can for him. Men, you got to be the best version of that you can for her. You know, don't get mad because she didn't see Idris Elba. Don't get mad because she didn't see Rick Fox. Don't get mad because she looking at Barack Obama side eye. Don't get mad. Don't get mad, ladies, because he looking at Halle Berry. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Do not get mad. Don't get mad at the other person. Don't get mad because somebody is at the office and she turning it up and turning him on. Don't get mad. No, don't even get even. You get right. Yeah, you get right. And you go make sure that you are maintaining and satisfying what he needs. Again, it goes back up to find out what your mate needs. Hear them. Listen to them. Pay close attention to it and make it happen. Because again, if you don't, somebody else will. And I promise you. And don't ever believe that just because they're not what you think they should be, or they're not what they used to be, that don't nobody want them. Baby, I promise you, there is a Build-A-Bear network out there that will take your unwanted spouse and will spruce them up. And baby, they will show them off in front of you once they are gone, and you will have regretted because you did not see what you already had. All right? All right? So here's the other thing. Be honest, again, about how you feel. Be honest about what you need, and be honest when things are not right. I counsel so many couples, and they say, you know what, individually, and they individual sessions, and they always say, you know what, I'm afraid to hurt their feelings. I would rather you hurt my feelings and be honest than you to not hurt my feelings and you go and screwing somebody. I'm sorry, I ain't supposed to say that. I'm sorry. You out there doing whatever you doing, entertaining extracurriculars with somebody else. Be honest with me. Be honest with me. And if nothing else, be honest when you don't want to be with me no more. I'm talking for women everywhere, men. I'm not specifically talking about me. I'm talking about men, that's for you. Ladies, that's for you. Be honest. Be honest. Just tell them, listen, this is where I am. I'm not happy. And again, a person can't bring you happiness, but I should not be unhappy because you're in my life. You're supposed to add something to me, not take something away from me. All right? And so it's very, very important that you're honest. Mr. and Mrs. Right, they're worth your honesty. You were honest when you got them, hopefully. Now be honest now. And if they're grown, you in a grown relationship, tell them. Just be sweet. You don't have to be hateful when you do it. You don't have to be aggressive when you do it. You know, I have those hard conversations, but sit down and be sweet. Do it with honey. Don't do it with vinegar. All right? Okay, men too. Be sweet. Don't come with no lame lines. And just because we forgive you, don't think you're going to get some tail. The Bible says, do it with your wife according to knowledge. If you done made us angry, you done hurt us, you done abandoned us, make us not feel like we're secure, like we're valued, you might have to work up on something. But if it's worth it, get to work. Okay? The other thing is you want to keep your head out of the sand. How many times have you heard women or men that says, I didn't know my husband or my wife was interested in somebody? You would lie. Yeah, I said it. You lying to yourself. And that's the worst thing to do, to lie to yourself. Okay? I need you to understand this. I'm helping you. I'm glad I'm helping you. And keep watching. I'm going to keep helping everybody in the relationship department. It's very, very important that you don't act like you didn't see it. But again, don't get mad because you see it, and don't confront them so they can stop if you don't plan on doing anything to get back that attention. It's natural for them to be wanted by the one that they love. But if you can't be with the love you want, love the one you with. That's what the world tells them. That's infiltrated the church. That's infiltrated your relationship perhaps. Go back and figure out exactly what it is that you need and what they need. Be honest and talk about it and get to work, okay? Get your head out of the sand. Stop acting like you didn't see it. You see that woman trying to roll up on your husband, I wish somebody would. That ain't gonna happen. And so you need to do simple things like when you're around those people, because sometimes you're in those situations and those women or those men, yes, men do it too, they try to get your person's attention. Okay? It happens. So what you need to do, you need to be a quiet storm. Ain't nothing like a secure man and a secure woman. Go be a quiet storm. There's places that I go, I'll come up and I'll tap them on the shoulder. Hey, how you doing? And there is a plethora of women from afar watching. Oh, I see them. I see you. I see you, honey. And I let them know, no, sweetie, the queen has arrived. There is no need for you. And so I set a high standard. I don't go out looking like a bugaboo with my man. Some of you all have seen some of my pictures, and I've had people comment, you're supposed to be a bishop. I'm not supposed to be nothing but my husband's wife, a child of God, and make sure that my house is right. So when my husband takes me out, I don't wear my collar. I put on something sexy. Okay? My husband don't wear his collar. He put on a good suit because he knows that I like to see a man in a good suit. Every now and then he throws on the ascot because he knows that does something for the girl. And we go someplace and we act like we actually like each other. Yes, we spend time getting to know each other and enjoying one another. And we're not trying to keep up faces for people in church. Get people out of your bedroom. Get the church out your bedroom. Let me go there real quick because we're going to end because I'm actually running out of time. But I want to make sure I say this. Handle your house like you're supposed to, ladies. Handle your house like you're supposed to, men. Don't just assume because they're there, they ain't going nowhere. You got to make sure that they want to be there. Because I counsel too many men to say, I don't even want to go home. I go to the place. I go to the cigar bar. I go to the bar. I go to the club. I go to I go to the movies by myself because I don't want to come home. You got to make sure that man wants to come home to you, baby, because I promise you, there is some woman that's building a nest hoping that if she picks up that phone, she sends that text, or she catches him with that right glimpse, or he off on business and she slides that key, or puts that note with that napkin with the room number on it, that she don't get him, you need to make sure that when he's home, that you serving what you're supposed to be serving. And stop sitting up there listening to them prudish people who is setting it off in their house, in their bedrooms, but telling you you can't do certain things. The Bible says that the bedroom is holy, it is undefiled. Now, I'm not talking about bringing animals and other people into your relationship. I'm not talking about that. But whatever your mate enjoys and whatever you enjoy with your mate, that's between you and him. That's between you and her. You are husband and wife. You're supposed to be able to enjoy each other's bodies. Can we talk just for a second right now? Because a lot of people, and I'm gonna talk to you, us fellow believers, we like to, I don't want to do that. Wait a minute, I got a text. What? Okay, I had not planned on dealing with that. Let me say this, okay? The question is, if you are married, I got a text. If you are married, is it okay if you bring, what? Okay, can you bring helpful aids into your bedroom? I'll just leave it at that, okay? You all are grown. Y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm the kind of person of this. If there is a deficiency in your relationship, then what you choose to do and what you agree to do as husband and wife, that's on you, okay? I don't think it's appropriate if you're trying to replace your mate with those extra things. But if you want to enjoy those things with your mate, by all means. You all stop acting like that you can only do one position. Can we, if you're easily offended, you might want to end it right now, okay? But I'm trying to help somebody out there that ain't made love to her husband or made love to his wife for a very long time, or whatever it is that you think you're doing in the bed is unsatisfactory and they are no longer pleasure, and then you going through the motions, or even worse, you're not doing it at all. Because I know too many relationships where I'm hearing that spouses are together and they haven't had intimate relationships of any type in years. That makes no sense. And then you wonder why there's a space, or you in a king size bed and he's on this side and you on the other side. One of the older ladies at the church, she said there's too much space for another man, another woman that is actually the devil in disguise to get in the middle. There's a gulf between the both of you. Nonsense. You better move those pillows and you better get to climbing and winding. I'm being honest. This is for married people. You need to know. Men, tell your wife if you need something that you ain't had in a minute. I'm not going to get into specifics. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's certain things I'm not going to say, but y'all know. Use your imagination. And ladies, stop saying that stuff is nasty. Women, stop saying that's, I can't do it like, listen, you better learn how to do it like that. Men, you better learn how to do it like that, because you said that you are going to be there. You want to be the pleasure principle in your relationship. Learn how to pleasure her. Learn how to pleasure him. Well, I've been taught. You've been taught. The Bible, I didn't ask you what you've been taught. The Bible says that the marriage bed is holy. You can make it unholy by bringing someone else into your bedroom, a menage a trois, that several people. Yes, you can. You can do it by doing bestiality or doing something that is unhealthy, or something that is painful to your mate. But y'all got to stop being prudish, because y'all was some freaks in the sheets when you was out there. And let me tell you this. Now, I ain't going to play with you, but you ladies, he wants a holy woman if he's a saved man. But he don't want to listen to John P. Key and Near My God Today when he's trying to get you in a certain mood. You better learn how to put on Teddy Pendergrass. You need to learn how. Let me tell y'all what y'all need to play. I'm going to play something for y'all. I'm going to play something real quick for y'all so y'all can hear what y'all need to play. Can y'all hear that? That's Barry White. That's old school. Some of y'all might play Tank. Some of y'all might play, several other things. You might play Jill Scott, Crown Royal. You might play, the Isley Brothers, In Between the Sheets. But you need to get something going. Make a situation where it's... I'm going to give you one for free. Ladies... Y'all listening? If y'all listening, if somebody is listening and you really want me to go deep and tell you something, just one idea that you can do for your husband or men, I need you to give me some hearts, because I'm about to go deep real quick. Go on. Let me see if you're going to give me some hearts. If you listening. Because I want to tell you something. All right, you there? Okay, that's all I needed to know. All right. I'm going to give you an idea. Wives, one day, if you can get off early, then your husband, or you have a, you get, you off, I need you to go find out what his favorite color is. Most men like lingerie. Some of them like the lingerie called naked. And I need you to meet him in the kitchen. And I need you to clean your house, clear off the counter. He said, let's make music. Harmonizing in ecstasy. That's what you need to be doing. Men, she comes home early. Light some candles. Put it around the tub. She not a tub girl? Take her someplace. I don't care. Take her on a picnic. Make some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Go to the grocery store. Go to Boston Market. Get some chicken. Get some fruit. Get a bottle of wine if she likes a little bit of libations. Get some sparkling cider. Make it pretty. Bring her some flowers that she likes if she's into that. Or bring her a nice little gift. Give her a little note before she goes home and say, hey, I got something for you. Or pick up that phone. Y'all like to text anyway. And text him something. Daddy, I was thinking about you. Baby, I can't wait to smell the scent of your perfume. Honey, you got to learn how to talk. Y'all talk about everything except for what you're supposed to be talking to. Some of y'all ladies are talking about your mates to your man when you need to be talking to your man about what you can and cannot do to blow his entire mind. Wives, you are graced to blow his mind. Men, you are graced to blow her mind. You got a special anointing on you. You got to learn how to use your superpowers. Because I'm going to tell you something. Long time ago, my girls, we used to all run. And I ain't busting out on my girls. But when we walked in a room, we knew how to get your man. Long time ago. I got one, so I don't have to do that. But we knew how to get your man. And we knew what to say to him. We knew how to say it. We knew how to lower our tone. We knew how to look at him with those longing eyes. We knew how to pull our hair back. We knew how to listen to him intently. We knew how to listen to what he said he liked to eat. We knew how to rub his bald head. We knew how to rub his shoulders. We knew how to kiss him in his ear. We knew how to do all those things to seduce him. Ladies, you don't know? Get on YouTube. Learn. Pick up the phone. Talk to somebody. Those old mothers in the church, they've been married 50 years. They know what they're doing. Sit down and talk to them. They'll tell you. Get that old aunt, that old uncle that's always talking to mess that's at the family reunion. They know that one you say is freaky. Because I'm going to tell you something. A man who wants a woman, a lady in the streets, and y'all know the rest. Men, a woman wants somebody that is going to be fatherly in her protective and security mechanisms, but wants to be Superman when he gets her by himself. So I'm just trying to help you out a little bit. So y'all got to turn up your game, because those people out there in the streets, baby, they don't need to turn up on their game. They are turned up already. They wake up turned up. Already got a strategy on how to win him, how to win her. You get your strategy. Get your playbook. You used to have your playbook. Go back and get your playbook for your spouse. Try new things, and if it don't work, try it. Simple. Can I give you one more thing? Can I give you one more thing? Ladies, go on, or women, men can do this too. Go on and take a bath and sit your husband, your wife in a chair and talk to him. Make up a story. A bedtime story. Don't nobody touch nobody, but you're building up an anticipation. And when you're out of the tub, that person has that towel for you. They wrap it around you. And that's it. The rest is, and they lived happily ever after. Strategically add life to your relationship. Don't give them a reason to go. Now, I understand some people don't want to be kept. You cannot keep a person that don't want to be kept. But you can try to revive the relationship by doing the things you did to get them, getting some counseling if you need to, keeping people out of your relationship that don't add nothing sweet to it, keeping people out of your relationship that's going to help you counteract the conversation that you should not have, that you're going to end up living and not them. Okay? Yes, you are. You old enough for this, honey. You are old enough. Okay? And then here's the last thing I want to tell you. Let him chase you, ladies. Some of you all are coming off much too strong. It's okay to be aggressive. It's okay. But be aggressive to the degree that you know how to pull back. You need to learn how to play the dance. I know what my man likes. I know how to make him happy. You got to do the same thing. So you need to make sure, and I can't say it enough, make sure, absolutely sure, that when he starts to chase you, you play the damsel in distress and you let him. Men, sometimes we want to be the aggressor. Allow us to be the aggressor. It's quite all right. And then you come in and you swoop us up and you change the position, as it were. No, nothing intended. I didn't mean it to work like that, but you change the position where you like, honey, daddy is home. See, y'all got to know how to spot. I'm going to help y'all. I'm going to help y'all get this together. I promise. Y'all keep watching Tuesdays with Tear. I'm going to help you get it together. And like I said, if you are in a place where you need to revitalize your relationship, just remember that you only live once. If he was worth saying yes to, if she was worth saying yes to, turn that fire up like Rick James is singing. Fire and desire, honey. Turn that up and get to talking to him. Get to talking to her. Again, find out what he is, what he needs. Be his fantasy. Be her fantasy. Don't worry about who's on the outside. You make sure you take care of who's on the inside. And what's on the inside is going to make sure it takes care of you. Let them know what you require. Let them know what you need. And you be that same thing for them. Speak into their heart. Encourage them, support them, affirm them, respect them, speak positive words, give them the attention. Listen to him, women. Stop talking so much and listen to your man. That was the kryptonite to Samson. She listened, she learned, and she implemented. Ladies, listen, learn, and implement. Men, listen, learn, and implement. And get your relationship back on track. It ain't too late. You know what you did to get them? Now do the same thing to keep them. And to that thought, I promise you I was going to say I wasn't going to spend too much time on you. That thought, go get your own and leave married people alone. I'll talk to you later. Join me this time next Tuesday. Tuesdays with Tear. Make sure you share this with somebody. Help me reach 6,000 people. We reached over 5,000 last week. Help me to reach my goal, 6,000 people. You guys who are watching this either live or you're watching it delayed, push that share button. Go onto my official Tear Wilson McCrary page. Thank you for the loves. Thank you for the heart. I'm glad I was able to help you. I'm glad I was there to help you. You won't miss another Tuesday. Amanda, I hope that you don't. And again, if you know you want to share this with somebody, I need you to please go to the YouTube I Am Tear. You'll find that there by midnight tonight. You can go on either one of my pages here on Facebook. Share this with somebody. I want you to be empowered. I want you to have real, relevant, lasting relationships that makes the whole world stop and say, I want what they got. All right? Till next time, Tuesdays with Tear, we're going to have another hot, relevant topic about something that matters to you. I'll see you later. God bless you. Until next time, you turn on the fire, baby. Get to turning that fire on. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Get that slow jam, okay? Good night.